A lot of times in our life, we will be praying for things, looking for answers, looking for something the way that we expect it to happen. Scripture says that when the enemy comes in like a flood, when everything seems like we're drowning in whatever it is, it says he will raise up a standard against us, against them for us, kind of a thing. I have always, I can't, well, yeah, I can say I always expected to see that as like an army. That army just out of nowhere appears and this battle happens and takes something right out of Frank Peretti's book of Piercing the Darkness or something like that. And that's the battle in heaven, or what I expected to see after Daniel when he was praying and the angel came to him and said, listen, we'd have been here sooner, but here it is. And as I was scribbling these notes down, I was sitting there really stumbling with something. And all of a sudden, God kind of dropped this thing. It's something I've always known, but never really applied. Fair enough? In this manner. I have saying from the beginning, I can far back remember, his banner over me is love. Before every war, all the medieval movies you can picture, before the army goes out, what leads them out there is these guys who you think are insignificant. The ones that are going to get hurt first, they walk out with what? A banner. They walk out with a flag saying who they belong to, who they represent. Before the United States Army goes into battle, into war, what leads the charge? It has, from ever since Revolutionary days up until now, the flag of who we represent, what we represent. So I was sitting there thinking in the midst of the prophecies and today and everything else, and thinking about his banner over me is love that I've sang since kindergarten and first grade, and that's the song, and you stuck in your head. And I realized the banner and the standard he raises up against that enemy is love. It's not a war. Now, granted, there is a war. There is one we battle. It's not against flesh and blood. It's against principalities and powers. And all the things we know from Ephesians chapter 4 or 6. 6. I got your Ephesians 4 from the other day stuck in my head still. Ephesians chapter 6 and all that battle there, but that's not what he raises up. That standard that we go to war with, the standard that's set before us is his love. And in every action that we have, in every interaction that we have, that should be the standard we base what we do on. I always expected that when that standard rises up against me, then I'm good. He does the battling and the work for me. It's not how it works. That standard raises up reminds me what I'm fighting for, who I'm fighting for, the purpose, and what I have to judge my actions on whether or not they stand up to his execution of love in everyone's life, including my own. And if my interaction doesn't match that standard, I might be fighting the wrong war. That standard that rises against that enemy is to remind me what he did for me under the banner of love. That I can go against anything because he loved me, and my end result is already set. That he can do anything through me, for me, that is impossible to most people who think. Because why? He loves me. And no matter what that enemy says to me, no matter how big it looks. David went up against Goliath that I talked about weeks ago, and he went, not because he was angry, not because he was trying to get revenge for what they were saying about the Israelites and God. He did it because of how much he loved God. And that's why he was victorious. Not because he was a crack shot, not because he was good at what he does, but because he loved God and God loved him. And if that's the standard I'm up against, if that's the standard God raised for me, then there's not an enemy on this earth or in the heavenlies that we can't battle with him.